Going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today. We're on the week two. The Detroit Lions will be visiting the Green Bay Packers. So I'll have a little preview for you guys today. Had a rough week one. You know all about it, guys. I'm not going to get into it right now. We're going to try to grab that game, literally toss it in the garbage, okay? So we're on the week two, guys. On the week two, do a little preview just like I did last week. Go on positional, see, matchups, all that stuff. But first off, guys, I just want to say, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Like the notification bell. Hit that notification bell, like and comment. It's all about that. And, let's talk football. But I'm going to start this off with an injury report, okay? Injury report. I'll start off with the Green Bay Packers. I got the Packers out of the way real quick. They got some injuries going on, guys. They got a really big injury going on their star defensive tackle, Kenny Clark. He's out with a groin, so that's big for the Lions, really big. Randy Ramsey, the linebacker, out, groin. Don't know how to say this kid's first name, so I'm going to go with EQ St. Brown, wide receiver, groin. Lane Taylor, guard, he's got a knee, so he's out. They got Montavious Adams, D lineman, who's questionable with a toe. Josiah DeGuara, the rookie tight end that they drafted in the 4th, 5th round, I want to say. He's got a shin ankle, so I don't think he's going to be playing because he did not practice, but who knows? We'll see what happens there. They got a kid named Raven Green, safety, who was questionable with a quad, and Billy Turner, he's kind of the old offensive guard, offensive tackle. He's out, or he's questionable with a knee. So these questionables, guys, like I said last week, I thought questionables, you never know what's going on with questionables now. It could mean that they weren't playing, that they might not play. Usually it means that they're getting some time in, they're going to get in the game, but you never know now with questionables. Okuda was questionable last week, never played. So who knows? So that's what's going on with the Green Bay Packers. So we got a couple guys out. Kenny Clark really hurts them. Now us, Lions, we got Hunter Bryant, tight end, out with a hamstring. Kenny Golladay again, out. Our wide receiver with a hammy. Desmond Trufant, cornerback, out with a hamstring. Joe Dahl, a starting offensive guard, gone for 3 weeks minimum. Hopefully not anymore. Out with a groin, got put on IR. Nick Williams, got a late scratch today, I believe. Our defensive tackle, he is out with a shoulder. We got CJ Moore, a really good special teams safety, questionable with a hamstring, probably won't play. Daryl Roberts, cornerback, questionable with a calf, he might not play. Then Big B, he's our big time right tackle acquisition, who's questionable with a foot. It looks like he might be playing, but who knows? But we also made some moves, guys. We called up from the practice squad offensive guard Kenny Wiggins in place of Joe Dahl, but it looks like Oday Abushi is going to be getting a start. So far, that's what it looks like. Then we called up cornerback D Virgin from the practice squad, and we also called up defensive tackle Kevin Strong. That will probably get some snaps because Nick Williams is out for the game. So big injuries, guys. We've got some injuries going on. So let's get down to the matchups and stuff like that. Let's talk a little bit about the football game. My quarterbacks, you know who it is. It's Matt Stafford versus the first ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers. Check mark goes to Rodgers. He looked awesome last week against a pretty good Minnesota defense. He went up against some young corners, though. They didn't really get to Rodgers, Minnesota. They didn't get to him. No sacks, I don't think. I know that they lost Danielle Hunter for IR for a bit, so I don't know. That probably hurt them. But Rodgers looked good. 360-something yards, 4 touchdowns. Matt Stafford, you know what I feel about Matt Stafford. He's a great quarterback, man. He's not as good as Rodgers, though. It's obvious, okay? So check mark goes there and Rodgers there. Now it goes to the running backs. We got Adrian Peterson, who ran like a beast last week. Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift had a rough go with a big drop, but he's still a promising young stud rookie. And then we got Ty Johnson, like our 4th running back, and Jason Kabinda as a fullback. Then the running backs for the Green Bay Packers are Aaron Jones, who's a stud, touchdown machine. Jamal Williams, who's a really nice really nice number 2 back. They drafted a kid, AJ Dillon, who is literally a linebacker playing running back. He's a monster. He's a full-on monster who rushed for he only had a couple rushes last week, but it was like 7 yards a pop. So, and then they got a kid named Tyler Irvin who had like 12 yards a carry. He had like two or three carries, and he gained like 38 yards or something like that. He had a really nice 36, 37 yards. So he actually looked pretty good running the football. So running backs, check mark, goes to the Green Bay Packers, guys. I think they got the better version. We got some studs, don't get me wrong. I think Adrian Peterson is a monster. He looked great last week. Who knows if that's going to continue, but he looked great. I'm still in shock by it. I'm still hoping for Kerryon Johnson to be that guy, but he lacked some burst last week. Didn't like what he looked like. Swift, I'm still confident in the kid, even though he had a big drop. And Ty Johnson, he's our number 4. So then we go to our wide receivers. We got Marvin Jones. Kenny Galladay's out, by the way, like I said, so that hurts again. Danny Amendola, Quintez Cephas, the rookie, Marvin Hall Jr., and Jamal Agnew. Versus their guys, Devontae Adams is a beast. Then they got Alan Lazard, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and that's 4 good guys they have, or 3 good guys they have. I'm going to give the edge to Detroit, even though the wide receivers last week for them, they all did well. Adams went off. Alan Lazard had a nice day, like four catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. Scantling had a nice day, like 4 or 5 catches for like 90-something yards and a touchdown. They played well as a wide receiver core. But I'm going to give the edge to the Detroit Lions here. Adams is a beast. He's the best of the bunch. It's just that I think we have the better group. Just from history, Alan Lazard, Marquez Scantling, guys are still young, coming into their own. And I think guys like Jones, Amendola, they have a lot more history between them. And I think Cephas is a promising rookie, and I love Marvin Hall's deep ball ability. So I'm going to give the slight edge to the Detroit Lions on that one. Then the tight ends for us is Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, first-round pick that we had last year, and Jesse James, who needs to get more involved. He played a lot of snaps last week, but he was pretty much inline blocking. He didn't do a lot of route running. He was helping out with Khalil Mack in that pass rush of the Bears. Tight ends over there are Robert Tonyan, Mercedes Lewis is probably going to get the start. Josiah DeGuara, who's a rookie who's questionable, might not play. Then they got a young kid named Jace Sternberger. So I'm going to give the edge just to Hawkinson because I think we have the better tight end in Hawk. I think Hawk's better than any of those guys listed right there. So I'm going to give the edge to Detroit just slightly on that one because tight ends used in Green Bay are not really threatening. There's no real big threat there. You got some big guys who usually they're all pretty much blockers in my eyes. Sternberger could be a guy one day, could be that threat passing vertically, but as of right now, it doesn't look like it, but it's early. Now the Lions O-line. I'm going to the O-line now. We got Taylor Decker at left tackle. Left guard, it looks like Ode Abushi will be starting over Dahl because Dahl's on the IR. But I think you're going to see some Logan Stenberg, the rookie in there from Kentucky that we drafted in the 4th round. Frank Ragnow, our center, our stud center, who's just getting better and better. Our stud right guard that we drafted in the 3rd, Jonah Jackson. It looks like Big V is back at right tackle, but Tyrell Crosby fit in really nicely last week. Fit in real nice last week. And then, that's it for the Lions. For the Green Bay Packers, is left tackle David Bakhtiari. Left guard, Elton Jenkins is a really good guard. Bakhtiari is a good tackle too as well. Then they got Corey Linsley as their center. Right guard, Lucas Patrick. Right tackle, Billy Turner, who's a little bit beat up right now. I think he will play tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But he probably will play. Who knows, though? Who knows, man? You never know with these questionables anymore, guys. So I'm going to give... I'm going to give a tie. I almost wanted to give it to the Lions just because of Decker, Ragnow, Jackson. But I'm going to give it a tie because that group in Green Bay did a good job last week. And I thought we did a pretty good job against the Packers, against the Bears. I mean, sorry, guys. And so I'm going to give it a tie, but almost a slight edge to the Lions. Both squads did well. Like I said, both squads did well, though. Now on to the defense, guys. On to the defense, and this is where it gets tricky. Our D-line, you know who it is. Flowers, Shelton, Deshaun Hand, Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara, who needs to play more. Then they need Penasini to get in there. Then they need a little Kevin Strong to get in there, too, to take some snaps from Nick Williams. I don't know where our production is going to come from. We need more production, guys. Flowers was the only one who played really good. I thought he played really well last week. He had like 6 tackles. He had a couple quarterback hits. He had a sack, a strip. He played pretty good. He earned his money last week. I thought he can't do it by himself, though. He just can't do it by himself. But he played well. They got guys like Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith, who are 2 guys that get to the quarterback and play good defense. Then they got a young kid, Rashawn Gary, Michigan Wolverine. They drafted him first round last year, 12th overall, I believe. So he's the kid that they're banking on. And then they got Dean Lowry, a defensive tackle, and Kenny Clark, like I said, who is out, and that's huge for them. But I'm gonna give the edge, gonna give the check mark to the Packers because of Darius Smith and Preston Smith. Those guys are 2 monsters coming off that edge, and it's scary. They're gonna really need to buckle down on those guys, and especially Zadarius Smith. I think he's the better one. They're gonna really need to lock him up. So edge goes to Green Bay Packers. Cheeseheads. Now the linebackers, we got Jimmy Collins Seniors. Time to be smarter, bro. Don't be stupid. Don't be headbutting referees. Christian Jones, Jelani Tavai, Jared Davis, Reggie Ragland. We got Maben, who's more of a special teams guy. He's a cover linebacker. Then we got like Killer Brew, who plays special teams as well. Their linebackers, guys, are weak. I think they're very weak. They have a kid named, well, it's not a kid, but Christian Kirksey, who came over from Cleveland, who's been hurt the last 2-3 years. Was a playmaking linebacker, 2016, 17, something like that. But he's been hurt the last 3 years, 2-3 years for sure. So they're banking on him. They lost Blake Martinez. I think Blake Martinez ended up going to the Giants, so they're banking on him. Then they got a kid named Chris Barnes, who's a rookie, drafted a little bit later than a guy named Oren Burks. Their linebackers, personally, are weak. We should be able to run on these guys all day. We should be able to run against these guys all day. I'm not really afraid of these guys. I'm not afraid of the linebackers, and the Lions should not be afraid either. They should be able to do some things against that defense, especially those linebackers. But their front four is pretty solid. Their front four is really solid, especially the Smith brothers, man. You know what I mean? So the DBs, we got Tracy Walker, Deron Harmon, Will Harris. Harmon and Harris, I thought, were quiet last week. I don't know what they were doing. Walker missed a pick 6 right in his hands. Time to be a playmaker, kid. Let's go. We got Amani Oruwariye, Okuda. Those 2 guys are probably starting. I'm pretty sure they are the 1 and 2. That's the future, and now it's the now. So let's go, guys. Daryl Roberts, who's kind of questionable, might not play with that calf. Hopefully he plays. And we got Tony McRae Sr., ouch. And then we just signed a guy literally off the streets named Chris Jones, who was like an undrafted guy that played for the Cardinals, I believe, last year or 2 years ago. So we're weak. We're weak at corner. Very weak at corner. Safeties are all healthy. So those guys are really going to need to help out the corners. Now their DBs, they have some really good DBs. Adrian Amos is a great safety. Darnell Savage is a young safety. Will Redmond's a pretty good, he's okay. A good safety, like a third safety. Then they got playmakers. They got a playmaker in Jareer Alexander. He's a corner. He had a phenomenal game last week against Minnesota. He had like a sack, bunch of tackles, a pick. The guy was just all over the place making plays. He's a really good corner. Then they got Kevin King, who's an okay number 2, but you could beat him. Then they got a kid named Chandon Sullivan. But I'm going to give the edge. Linebackers, I gave the edge to the Lions, okay? But the DBs, I'm going to give the edge. I'm going to give the check mark to the Green Bay Packers. It was a really, they have some playmakers over there, guys. Stafford's going to have to be really smart with these kids, man, because there's a couple guys in there that can make plays. That's it, guys. But what they're going to need to do, they're going to need to run the football. Again, obviously the Lions, they're going to need to run the football and not get away from it. I think they can, especially with Kenny Clark not playing. That's huge. Defensive tackle, that's out for them. That's huge. The Green Bay linebackers are not that special. Kirksey's a bit of a tackling machine, but he's been hurt, like I said, and he's definitely lost a step the last couple of years. They can run on that team. They should be able to run on that team, and they should be able to get Hawk out in the middle, one-on-ones with those linebackers, and just like I think it's gonna be a big TJ Hawkinson day. It has to be a big TJ Hawkinson day and a big Peterson day, or Swift and or Kerryon Johnson. They have to run the ball. They have to run the ball because Jair Alexander is probably going to be on Marvin Jones most of the game. That's my guess. It's going to be really tough for MJ to get rid of him because Alexander's the real deal. So you're going to see a lot of Amendola. You're going to see a lot of Cephas again. It's going to be almost like the Chicago game. Close out, though, guys. And what we're going to need to do against Rodgers, hope and pray. That's what we're going to need to do because I don't know where the pass rush is coming from. They need to play Julian Okwara. Did you know Julian Okwara, guys? Julian Okwara played 7 snaps last week. 7. Don't know why. I have no idea why. I know he was a little banged up in camp. I think they're still kind of concerned about that knee that he broke his leg in college his last year at Notre Dame. So he had played 7 snaps. He was literally the best pass rusher on the team last week. He had 7 snaps, and I think 3 of them he got to the quarterback. He just created pressure. I think he might even had a hit. He almost sacked Trubisky at one point. But when you got 7 snaps and then 3 of them, you kind of made some production. You got to the quarterback and you adjusted that quarterback. You made him do things he didn't want to do. That's what you want your guys to do. Now, Julian needs to play more. I don't know what Patricia's doing. Nobody does. Nobody really does. It's frustrating. Very frustrating to watch. But Romeo needs to be better. They need to get to Rodgers. They need to hit him and beat him up. If he has all day, he's going to destroy us. He's going to destroy us. It doesn't matter who the wide receivers are. So in fantasy, I'm telling you right now, if you want a little fantasy nugget, pick up wide receivers from the Green Bay Packers. I'm probably playing. I picked up Lazard last week. I had him on the bench. I shouldn't have in one league. I think I had him on the bench. Picked up Scantling this week in one league. I'm probably going to play him, but I'm not too sure yet. But if you don't have a better option, pick up Green Bay Packer wide receivers, guys. Pick them up. I'm telling you right now, because they're that secondary that we have right now. We got a rookie in Okuda. We got a Aurorier, who's a second young kid, and you're going to see guys like, God forbid, if it's Chris Jones, Tony McRae Sr., and Darryl Roberts. So those guys are out there. Oh my! And Rodgers is going to know. He's going to know. First of all, he's going to pick on the kid, Okuda. You know that's coming. He's just going to pick on everybody. We're young out there, man. Dron Harmon is the captain out there of our secondary. He's the oldest guy out there in the secondary. He is really going to need to know what the hell's going on. Because if he doesn't call plays, we're in trouble. They're going to have to be on point. So they got to get to him somehow. And they got to hope and pray that Rodgers doesn't have a good day. But, guys, my prediction is going to be 37-27, Green Bay Packers. We're going to lose another one, guys. And it's just, I'm not trying to do any reverse kind of psychology on this or nothing like that either. I'm not trying to fool myself or trick anybody. I really think they're legitimately going to lose. Legitimately, they're going to lose, I think, this game. We'll probably hang around. You know what I mean? We'll probably hang around a bit, lose by 10. We might even lose by 7. Maybe lose by 7, but 37-27 is my prediction. Even though Rodgers put 43 against the Vikings last week, and their defense is better than ours. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know why I'm going with the low score like that. Maybe I'm just thinking the Lions are going to play a little bit better. But they're going to lose, man. They're going to Lambeau, and they're going to lose this game. And it's just, I think it's one step closer to Patricia getting fired. There's probably going to be a bunch of blunders from him. So I got no real optimism on this, guys. I wish I could. I wish I could have it. I need to see it. Personally, I actually need to see it, man. But hey, I'm going for my Lions. I love my team. We need them to win. All right, guys, that's the video, man. Thanks a lot, man, for listening. Don't forget, like I said earlier, subscribe to my channel. It helps out. Hit that bell, hit the all button, get all my videos, like and comment. It's all about the algorithm. I love the feedback too. I love the back and forth. It helps me, negative or positive. All right, guys, go Lions. Let's go.